Hi, everyone. My name is Tom Woodford, and I'm the college counselor with Hilliard City Schools. For those of you that could not make our meeting this past week, I hope that this video is very helpful for you. So let's get started. I know it's hard to believe you're starting to think about your kids in college when they haven't finished the first semester of school. But there are some things that they could be doing now that can help along in that process when that time comes. So let's just start off and let's talk about OSU. I know that many of our parents throughout Hilliard City Schools have gone to Ohio State. The Ohio State today is very different than the Ohio State back then, and the process of getting in is very different. And so last year, Ohio State had 71,000 students apply. They brought in a freshman class of right around 7,600 students. The average ACT score was a little over a 29, with a middle 50%, 28 to 32, and the average SAT score being a 1385 out of 1,600. As we look back at maybe your experiences when you might have applied to college or even OSU, you probably noticed that the average test scores were nowhere close to that right now. So admission to a place like Ohio State is very different than it was back then, but it is good to have an idea of what this looks like now. So where do our kids go? Our kids in Hilliard City Schools go all over the country. They go to all of the Big Ten schools. We have students in various Ivy League schools. We have kids in Ivy-like schools like Washington University in St. Louis, Stanford, Vanderbilt, University of Chicago, et cetera, et cetera. We also have, of course, our students going to all of the state schools in the state of Ohio, as well as a large number of the private schools. And then each year we get a student or two that might go to a school outside of the US. So let's talk about ACT and SAT. Each of these tests are given 7 times a year. Many times students begin to take these tests usually right around their junior year. I always like to use Algebra 2 as a good gauge. And so when students are in pre-calculus and higher, none of that is on either one of these tests. So I advise students and families that when you're finished with Algebra 2, or if you're a junior, wait till the spring of your junior year to start to take those classes or those tests. So the ACT is made up of 4 sections: a reading, an English, a math, and a science. It does have an optional writing test. Students do not need to take that because very few schools need that score. It is graded from a 1 to a 36. And so each one of these tests are scored from a 1 to a 36, and then the composite is the average of those scores. The SAT is made up of 2 sections: critical reading and math. Each section is worth 800 points for a total of 1,600 points. And there is no longer an optional writing section. So it's important that students create a plan, and we already have one kind of set for them. So sophomore year in the spring, all 10th graders will take a 10th grade version of the PSAT that's done during the school day. They do not have to pay for it. It is free. And those scores come out in May or June of their sophomore year. During their junior year in the fall, students will have an opportunity to take the PSAT. That is the test during the junior year that is used for the National Merit Scholarship competition. There is a fee for this test. It ranges between $22 and $25. And that's something that parents will have to pay for. There is a sign up for that students will need to sign up for that test. I will also offer a free SAT prep session for juniors in February of their junior year. And that is to get them ready for the SAT that they will take in the month of April of their junior year. Hilliard City Schools will pay for that test, and we will also sign the students up for that test. I will also offer an ACT prep session for students in late May after the school year is finished, and there will be a fee for that as well. So how are these two tests different? And so right up front, you can see that, math on the ACT is worth 25% of the score, and math on the SAT is worth 50% of that score. What's important to understand, there is no science on the SAT. There is a science section on the ACT, but the science section is more of a reading test than it is an actual science test. Planning ahead is very important that as students look forward. And so when they're applying to college during the fall of their senior year, we will be sending out their high school transcripts that will have their cumulative GPA. And cumulative GPA is calculated in January and June. And so colleges will be looking at their cumulative GPA based on the end of their junior year. So this freshman year is really important because it is a third of the total score, I guess, for their GPA. So freshman year does have a large impact on a student's cumulative GPA. What students can be doing now is beginning to volunteer. A part of all of the applications out there, especially the Common App, students will have an opportunity to put in places where they have volunteered. They can also let them know how many hours that they've earned, what kind of responsibilities they've had during that time. They should also take honors courses, AP courses, and college courses, because that makes your high school transcript look that much stronger. When we send a high school transcript, we also send a school profile, and this school profile allows these colleges a better understanding of what type of academics we offer, so they can compare the academics that a student has taken compared to what we do offer. I do think even freshman year, it's a good time to take advantage of, long weekends, spring break, and summer break in between the freshman and sophomore year to actually begin to tour various colleges. If you just show up on a college campus and go for a walk, that is a great experience. However, the university does not know you've been there. It's important to always schedule a visit through the Office of Admissions. They track every content that a student has had on their campus. Also in the fall, this is finished now, but next year we will have over 100 college reps come to all three Hilliard high schools to visit and meet with our students. Kids can sign up for those visits in School Links, and so they can meet with those reps. They can take home all kinds of paperwork that they can share with you as parents. Right now, students should be choosing a club or two to join at the high school with the intent to take on a leadership role, maybe during their junior or senior year. They should also look at getting involved in any kind of Hilliard groups or Hilliard organizations, with also the intent to take on a leadership role. And then in my college news emails, I will begin to include a link to a list of summer college opportunities for students. Colleges offer various experiences for students who might want to major in engineering or education or business. Sometimes they offer leadership opportunities. Sometimes schools like Miami of Ohio, they have a summer college experience, just to get an idea of what that looks like and feels like. And so taking advantage of all of those opportunities does look very strong on a college application. Important terms. It's important to understand the high school jargon as well as the college and university jargon as well. So AP is short for advanced placement. Advanced placement courses are high school courses. They are not college courses. The first AP course that your child can take in Hilliard is AP US History, as the kids say, APUSH. And so students can take that as a sophomore. It is the highest US history course that we offer. Students will take an AP exam in the spring. They will get a score between 1 and 5, and that score stays with them. But they do not earn any college credits from taking that class or taking that test. The way students can possibly earn college credits is when they finally choose a college to attend towards the end of their junior year. They will also send their AP scores at the end of their senior year. And each university has their own policy on scores between a 3, 4, or 5, and what it would take at their college and what they will grant college credits for from their own courses on their campus. So it's up to the universities that students are going that where they're going to attend. It's up to them if they will grant credit based on the AP scores. Every university in the country, on their website, they have a link to a credit by exam or AP scoring guide that will outline all of those for students and parents. Now, College Credit Plus is a different animal. College Credit Plus is where students actually take college courses while in high school. These are taught by college faculty, either inside our school buildings or down on campus or even online. And kids actually earn college credits for that. And they also get high school credits for those courses as well. Each university has their own policy on how they will accept transfer credit through College Credit Plus. So the College Board is an independent company. They manage SAT, PSAT, and AP. The ACT is a separate company, and they manage the ACT test. Again, the PSAT is used for the National Merit Scholarship Program, and that is taken during their junior year. So when we talk about ACT and SAT, I advise students to take each test once, figure out which test fits them best, then take that test 2 more times, because when they apply to colleges, some schools might super score. And if they super score, that means if they take the ACT 3 times and they score a 27, 28, and a 27, a school like Ohio State that does not super score, They will always use your highest test. But a school like Miami of Ohio or Case Western, they will super score. They might say your child has a 29 or 30. They'll take the highest English from one test, highest reading from a different test, highest math, and highest science. So that's why you always want to ask when you go on visits, do you super score? And as you schedule visits, you always schedule them on a school's website. There will be a link to click on to schedule a visit. You will get a calendar, choose a date. And when you click on a date, it will give you the times during that day that they will give tours. Financial aid. So the free application for federal student aid will go live for all students after October 1st of their senior year. So parents cannot fill out the FAFSA until October 1st of their senior year. Every school in the country will use FAFSA. A lot of the private schools, a lot of the schools on the East Coast might use a second document to review family assets. And that document is called the CSS profile. And that is found on the College Board website. Every September, I will offer and host a financial aid meeting to get parents up to date on how to start filling out all of those forms after the 1st of October. So usually that last week of September, I will offer a meeting to get everybody up to date on how to take care of financial aid. So on every school's website too, there is a thing called a net price calculator. It has to be within 2 clicks of the homepage. This will give parents an opportunity to put in some basic information about family assets and student achievement, and then it'll give you an estimate of what the true cost might be at that school. Right now, when students fill out the FAFSA and parents fill out the FAFSA, they will get a thing called an EFC. That's the estimated family contribution. There's some major changes happening to financial aid, and this acronym will be changing, but those changes will happen next year. So by the time you and your freshman students are at that point, everyone will have a better understanding of all of these changes. So what are colleges looking for in students? So you're going to hear the term holistic review. And it's important that students understand that no student's transcript is ever looked at side by side next to a different student. They're always going to look at students in the context of their own opportunities from the school in which they went to. They're going to look at students' GPAs, weighted GPAs, as well as unweighted GPAs. They're going to look at courses that students have taken compared to what schools offer. They're going to look at what kind of volunteer time have students used, what kind of things did they get to do as they volunteered, did they have any leadership role inside of school as well as outside of school, are they a part of any organizations outside of the school system. And then many schools like Case Western, schools like that, demonstrated interest. How interested are you in going to their school? And they figure that out by, have you visited? Have you emailed them? Have you answered emails when the universities have reached out to the students? And so demonstrated interest is very important. So what can students do now? They can create an academic, an athletic, and a social plan. I also have a 4-year college plan. So those of you that are listening to this, if you send me a simple email after we are finished, I can send you that 4-year plan, or you can go to this website or this link here, and it will take you there as well. But it is important that students start to volunteer, start to join clubs, and at the same time, if they also get a job. At no time do colleges look at students working as anything negative, because a lot is learned from doing that as well. And then taking a solid schedule of AP courses, honors courses in areas that they might be interested in. Also taking band and choir and continuing to be a part of those groups and those classes that students have a passion for as well. So there's multiple ways that students could possibly make their high school transcript look stronger and potentially earn college credits. One, as I mentioned, are taking AP courses. We offer multiple advanced placement courses at each of our 3 high schools. These are high school courses, but these are the highest high school courses that we offer. Students will take an AP exam during the last 2 full weeks of May each year, and they get a score between 1 and 5. When they take their last AP exam, when they are a senior, they will know where they're going to attend college at that point. They will put in that university into the testing document, and then during that summer, all of a student's test scores will be sent to that school. Then it's up to that college to grant them credits for their own courses. We give a benefit locally for an extra point in their GPA. That's where the weighted GPA on a 5-point scale comes from. So we give a local incentive of an extra point on their high school GPA for all AP courses. We give an extra 0.5 bump on a student's GPA for all honors courses. But please understand, having AP courses on a student's transcripts looks extremely positive during the evaluation process. Now, students taking college courses while in high school, they are actually taking college courses taught by college instructors. Hilliard will pay for these. We will also pay for the books. Unless a student fails those courses or drops those courses, that's when a family will have to reimburse Hilliard for the cost of those courses. All grades that a student gets in these college courses must appear on their high school transcript. That's written into state law. It's written into statute. We don't have any flexibility on that. But it's important that students that they understand they are also starting a college transcript and a college GPA. Most of our students in Hilliard schools, we have over 750 kids right now taking classes with various colleges. Most of our students are taking courses through KENYON College, Columbus State, and OSU. Through KENYON, we offer multiple courses in English, psychology, chemistry, Spanish, and political science. These offerings are very different at each of the 3 high schools. Typically, to meet the prerequisites for these courses, these students are either juniors or seniors. Students can apply and take classes at OSU. They have to apply to the academy. Their application goes live after January 1st, and they have an application deadline of May 1st. If anyone is interested in this and did not attend our College Credit Plus meeting 2 weeks ago, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you through this. We also have had a long-standing partnership with Columbus State. Students can take classes on campus. They can take classes online, but we also have a package of courses that students can take at the hub and at the ILC. This package of courses is limited to juniors and seniors, and it's mixed into their school day, and you have to take the full package. You just can't take one or two of these. And so if your children are more interested in College Jumpstart during their junior and senior year, please feel free to email me and we can schedule a time to meet. So the best way to contact me is to send me an email. I have an office in all 3 high schools. I go to 2 high schools every day. So Tom_Woodford@hboe.org is the best way. If you want to follow me on Twitter @Woodford_Tom, I tweet things out every day about scholarships and college opportunities, summer options, ACT, SAT, and things like that. Each week, all of you should get an email from me called College News, and I try to include videos and things like that and upcoming events as a part of that. I also just started a podcast, and so many times for videos like this, I will roll the audio over into the podcast. So if you don't have time to watch this video, then you can listen to the podcast, and it's called College News with Tom Woodford. So what I love about my job is I get to meet with families, I get to meet with students and talk about all of these processes and all of these opportunities. Feel free to reach out and we can schedule a time to meet. So I hope everyone has a great day, and please feel free to email me if you would like to schedule a time to meet. Thank you.